Actually, it feels like it's afternoon. I'm kind of early. All right, excited to be here today. It's a great time of year. We're fired up to get our basketball season started. I think we brought a really unique group in. We're excited. They're a mix. We've got a mix of some older players, some returning players, some incoming freshmen. We have quite a few international players, and so it's a unique roster. I think it's a roster that's a good foundation for the future of our program. We've got a lot of developing to do and a lot of growth that we're going to need to make, but we're working really hard, and they're a great group of young ladies. A few dates that I think I'd really like to point out today that if you guys could really push, I'd appreciate it. Monday's our opener. We have our kids game November 4th. At 11 o'clock, so it's a unique opener. I've never opened at 11 o'clock in a kids game in my coaching career, but we're gonna have a lot of kids in the building. Would love to get El Paso out to support our first game in the Dawn, and again, that's at 11 o'clock on Monday, November 4th against Tarleton State. Another date that's a big one that really ask you guys' help on this is November 10th. That's a Sunday. We're going to play Morehead State Sunday at 6 o'clock, and that's Kayla Thornton Day. And we're going to retire her jersey, and that's a day that we're going to celebrate her and recognize her. And I really want El Paso to come out that Sunday evening and see Kayla. Kayla will sign autographs. She's going to be around that day to interact with people, and I think it'll be a great opportunity for people to visit with Kayla and talk to her about her experience playing in the WNBA for 10 years, and then obviously being a WNBA champion and being on the New York Liberty team this year and then winning the whole thing. So I think that's going to be a fantastic event and night. So if you guys can really toot that and get that out there for me, I would appreciate it. Our season, we've got 3 parts to our season. You got your preseason. November and December, we're going to work really hard in these 2 months to learn about our team and to develop and figure out who we are, and hopefully by January we'll clearly have a clear picture of our rotations and our roles. There's just so much that we have to learn with having so many new players. We've got 8. So there's right now probably more questions that I have about our team than answers, but in the next 2 months, that's where we're going to learn a lot about our team and our players. And then obviously conference play, that'll fire up at the 1st of January. We've got a goal. We want to be in the top 4 of the conference. And that's going to be a goal that we're going to work hard towards. We're going to play hard. We're going to compete. We're going to get after it. We've been having really good workouts, and we're challenging this team. I think that the way you play the game is something that's very important to me, and that's always playing hard, being competitive, and being a team and playing together. And we're working really hard with that. And then the third part of the season will be, postseason and playoffs come tournament time. And, I think for me, what I'm going to judge is where we're at right now and the growth that we make, and the key is that we get better. And obviously you want to be playing your best basketball come March time. What can you expect to see from this team? I think our guards, we've brought in some kids that can shoot the basketball. We've got a nucleus of post players that I think that definitely I think have a chance to be really good. We've got a few of them that are a little green behind the ear. Sometimes they're going to do some things that you're going to go, oh, wow. And then there's going to be something you're going to go, that consistency factor is not there with some of them yet. But definitely the potential that they can evolve into something special. So, I think that that's for me. It's going to be the growth and the development that this team makes and the improvement we make. Obviously, we want to win games, and we want to beat people, and winning's fun, and losing's not much fun. So we want to win, and we want to have some fun. And then we want to get better. And we want to build this foundation with this group, and then obviously adding some key recruits to bring in for the future, the next year, to just, help us to then go from this level to this level to this level. So we're in a building stage with our program right now. I know it's year 2 for me, but in a lot of ways it feels like we started over. It's a start over year again because we have so many new faces and new people. But excited to be here. It feels great to be here. I'm looking forward to getting the Dawn, and we've had 2 competitive scrimmages that I think it was good for us, and Monday will be fun for us to put the real unis on and get it going. And again, I want to say thank you to everyone for their support. I really am excited, and I really ask that if you haven't bought your season tickets yet, get your season tickets purchased, and we need to fill up the Dawn and get it rocking in there. So, all right.
Coach Louisa, last season,
yes,
she kind of started to branch out and come out of her shell towards the end of season. What do you really hope to see from her this season?
Yeah, I think really with our four returners that played for us last year, Louisa and Dunya and Delma and Yvonne, we've got 4 players that played. And those 4 players are going to need to really come in and play well and produce and bring good leadership. With us having so many new players and being young, those 4 players that played a lot last year, it's going to be key that they're bringing it. I think Portia Adams is a transfer from Lamar that has a knack for putting the ball in the basket and can score, and I think she's a natural leader. She's got leadership skills. She's got a lot of personality. Everybody's going to know who Portia is because she's got a big personality. And she also can play. And I had a meeting with her yesterday, and I told her, I said, listen, we're going to go as you go. And I think that, a lot of times there's teams, you get 1 or 2 players on your team that how they are really affects how the team rolls, and Portia is a big part of that. And when she's had a bad practice, we've had a bad practice. But when she's had a good practice, guess what? We've had a good practice. And sometimes the good thing is Portia wants to be a leader. She likes that. Sometimes you have players that need to be the leader for your team, and that might not be what they really want to do. Portia likes that. It's a natural thing for her. And I said to her, listen, we're going to go as you go. And so I think that we've got an understanding with her, and that's, she's a transfer kid that came in, and she's got a really cool last name. I like her last name. We think we might be related. We don't know how, but we think we might be related. But she's a lot of fun, and I think fans are going to enjoy watching her play, and she's going to be very pivotal for our team too.
Coach, as you mentioned, kind of a unique roster. Just who are some of the players, besides Portia, you talked about her a little bit, that are going to stand out this year that people should know about? What are their strengths?
Yeah, great question. So, we've got an interesting new class. I've been really impressed with Irene, point guard from Spain. She's a true freshman. I think the thing that I've really liked about her is her tenacity and her toughness and her work ethic. And she understands, sometimes players understand preparation and the importance of practice, and then some players sometimes don't. And that's where, as coaches, that's where we come in, and they got to understand it's in the prep. That's where you get your edge. That's where you put the hay in the barn. That's where you get everything ready. Irene has a great work ethic, and she understands. She's got a good motor. So I've been impressed with that. Mary Moses is a very intriguing young lady. She's a true freshman from Uganda. We kind of like players from Uganda. Jane was pretty good from Uganda. And Mary is she's got some talent, and she's got a chance. She's got a chance to be really good. She's got a lot of growth to do. There's a lot of learning there. You can tell she's a true freshman. And so there's some things that go with that. I mean, probably a little overwhelmed right now with the whole newness of college and being in the United States and being young. But talk about an athlete. She's a great athlete. She can really rebound it, and does some things that you go, oh, okay. So, she's got some great potential there. Dax, a transfer from Cali County Community College, post player, got good size, good length. Got to get her a little stronger. Great personality, good work ethic. I think one of the things that I'm excited about is I think people are going to have fun getting to know our team and our players. Like we had a meet and greet the other night, and our kids talked and opened up and shared, and the people really enjoyed it. There's some unique stories, there's some unique personalities, really good group, and they're a fun group. So I think that's going to be fun for Miner fans to get connected to us and get connected to our players, and then be a part of this process of watching this thing develop and evolve and grow as we take it moving forward.
With the popularity of the WNBA and everything that happened this year, do you think, well, of course, with the UTEP star and champion, do you feel that it's going to be able to help you recruit more athletes in the United States, or are you just like that international flavor?
Well, I'll tell you what's going to help me recruit more players from the United States is our NIL, our collective. All right. Because of what happened with Caitlin Clark in college women's basketball in our March Madness a year ago, the NIL game has blown up in women's basketball. 2 years ago, what was happening with NIL in women's basketball? Not even close. But then 1 year later, after that evolved, and then how this thing's happened, we scrimmage a junior college a couple of weeks ago, and they have a post player on their team that's getting $150,000 NIL. All right, we scrimmage a Big 12 team, and every player on their team is getting $30,000 NIL. Our roster reflects that. All right, you get more NIL, you're going to have probably a little bit of different roster on that, more American players, because they're looking for that. So,
how do you expect to beat that?
Well, that's where our fans. I mean, we had a function last night. I mean, we're getting ready to go into the Mountain West, and this is the new era that we're in. If I could choose by having it or not having it, I know what I would vote, but I don't get to vote, and this is the game that we're in. So, if we're going to get in the transfer portal this spring and go after a player that's in the portal that's got numbers and that's proven themselves, we're going to need to have some NIL money to offer that player that's proven, that's got the stats, that's done it, because that's what's happening. So Miner fans all of our fans have got to understand that this is what we're going up against, and this is the new world that we're in. So I just hope people understand, and if your kids make you mad and you don't want to give them their inheritance, just give it to women's basketball. We'll take care of it. So.
Go ahead. Coach, as you mentioned, these next 2 months are really going to be about finding yourself, who the team is. What would you say in the early part of the season, where we're at right now, is the identity of the program?
Yeah, I think for us it's, our defense. We've been working really hard on our defense. I've been pushing this team really hard in practice. My mindset has been going in there and challenging them every day in practice. What we want is energy, toughness, and grit. It's those three things, and we're doing things in practice to really challenge them to develop that and grow that. So for us, it starts on our defensive end. I think for our offense, that's where we've got to find ourselves. We've got to get our timing with each other. We've got to understand each other's games. That's the learning curve, and that's where that takes more time. Defense is a mindset. It's a mentality. And so to me, it starts with our defense. I'm holding them to be accountable for a lot of things and just really trying to get them to pay attention to do the little things. When you're good at doing the little things, then other things really fall into place. Probably where I would grade our team right now, what I'm wanting them to improve and I've not been happy with is probably our communication and talking. And now they can talk off the court, like I've seen them. They have a great time with each other. Like we had a little food party one night for the football game. And I mean, these guys, they had so much vibe and chemistry with each other. It was awesome. You know, we go to the football game, they're down on the sideline, they're tossing each other up in the air, and they've got this great energy with each other. But on the court, we're not emulating that as well. But I think that's where I've got to help them. We've got to learn our basketball vocabulary with each other down there. So I'm trying to get better. I got to be a better teacher, and it's almost like I need to make a list of these are the things we should be saying down there, and we need to rehearse it because I got to get them talking more. That's probably the thing I would say I'd grade us in not being happy with is our communication. But we'll get better at that. We'll get better at that.
Coach, more than half of your roster, I believe, is international.
Yeah.
Just kind of what the reason behind that?
Well, a little bit about the NIL. That's part of it. You know, and we've always liked international players. We've always done that. I do want to say this, like, for me, I like a balance. I don't want to be all this. My teams have never been all this or all this. My teams have always been a mix of everything. I love diversity. I love a blend. You know, we've had two local players that played here that were impact players. Like, you know, we need to get a good local player that's going to come in here and make a difference. I know that. It starts at home. We've done that before. We'll work to do that in the future. You know, your kids from the United States, your internationals, your junior college, just that melting pot. That's always been my recipe is a melting pot and diversity. So.
Final question for me, just looking ahead to gameplay on Monday. Obviously, we don't have much to work with yet, but just initial thoughts on Charleston State.
Well, they've got about 7 kids back. I know their coach real well, Bill Brock. He's coached a long time, very good coach. They're gonna play really hard. They're gonna go out and they're gonna set a lot of ball screens. They've got some good size. They've got a post player that they look to go inside to a lot. You know, I think for us it's going to be about us taking care of the basketball, us having good composure, you know, playing 40 minutes, playing hard, rebounding, and then obviously the game's kinder to the team that makes shots. So, you know, we need to put the ball in the basket. But my goal for this team is for us to find some balance. We need to be able to score inside and outside. And then we've got to play really hard on defense and win boards and take care of the ball. And free throws always win games too. So we stress that a lot and work on that. But for me, it's going to be about how well we handle those adversity moments, you know. And again, I think we'll go as Portia goes, you know. So we need to have Portia ready to roll, and we'll go play hard for 40 minutes. And it won't be perfect. There'll be some ugly moments. It's early, you know, but at the end of the day, it's working through all that and then closing it out, finishing strong and getting the win.
Anything else, Coach?
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.